Hey guys, it's Emma from InTouch, and we are here today with Chad Dean. You may remember him from TLC's My 600-Pound Life, and he also has a new book out. It's called I'm in Here Somewhere, Memoir of a Food Addict. Thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you.
What are some things that fans who watched your episode will learn reading this book that they didn't get from the show?
Pretty much, it's a humorous book. It has, you read it, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna be rooting, and it pretty much asks you why. Because the biggest question everyone always asks, why did you let yourself get that big? Why is the biggest thing? And this kind of goes through with the whys and hows, and I try to open up your eyes to life as far as being a food addict, putting on the weight. Why would you do it when you know the outcome?
Yeah. So you mentioned in your book that you did get some advice from previous cast members. What was some of the best tips that you've gotten from them, and who were they from?
I'd say, like, for example, Susan.
Okay.
I remember when I was in the hospital, I had my surgery, and she goes, Chad, I can tell you something. I've been where you are. She goes, you don't get to a point where your stomach's gonna be so upset, you just don't wanna all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've been told about it. She goes, little secret, cheese puffs. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I was just 700 pounds, you're telling me cheese puffs?
Yeah.
She goes, no, just take one or two. She goes, more or less, it's your body wanting what it can't have. And all you're doing is feeding them demon a little bit, and it mellowed out.
Really?
That's something I've always remembered what she said. I've met quite a few of the cast members, and they're all great. It's really a adventure. My advice overall, you really just got to pay attention to your body, because now that I've had the surgery, my stomach's only so big. If I overeat, yes, it will stretch back to where it was. So you eat slow, and it literally will tell you, hey, hello, I'm starting to get full. And as soon as I get that feeling, even if I still feel hungry, I push my plate away and walk away and go do something else.
It sounds like before you were kind of struggling with finding the right help that you needed, and it's really amazing to see that you have the right help. And part of that you credit to your wife. How has this entire journey affected your marriage, and how has it changed since you started the journey?
Well, when I started the journey, my wife's been behind me 100%. I credit 100% for me losing the weight. 100% is her. I love her so much. I love the family. And, she's a true New Yorker. She's from New York. And when I mess up, I know it. In one way or shape or form, she lets me know. And, it just puts me back on track. Sometimes you need that reminder to realize where you are, where you've been, and where you're going.
That positive outlook that you have, and coming to terms with like the food addiction that you've struggled with, would you say that being positive helped you work through that, and how did you kind of like come to terms with your food addiction and face it?
It's a struggle even today. It's like with any addiction, you're always gonna have a struggle in life. The sad thing is, my addiction is legal.
Yeah.
And
you need it to live too.
Plus, I'm a truck driver. So everywhere as I go, they're pushing McDonald's, they're pushing fast foods, they're pushing grease. Do I give in? I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I'm not gonna say I'm lie. I can't do that. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
But it's how you bounce back from your mistakes. I'm happy with everything that's going. I'll do it all over again.
This book it goes from your as a baby all the way till now. It kind of runs the gamut of your entire life. And as you're going through the book and telling your story, were there any moments that were hard for you to relive and retell?
I see pictures of me at 700 pounds. And I even ask myself the same question that whenever anybody sees an obese person, they're like, why? How?
Yeah.
And I look at that and I'm like, how? How did I not see what I was doing to myself?
Do you ever struggle with fears of getting back there, and how do you kind of combat that?
Every day. Every day you wake up, is today the day where I screw up? Is today the day that's gonna turn back time? And I just keep going forward. I wake up, I say to myself, today's gonna be a good day. Whether I'm in the truck or I'm at home, I go away for a week at a time when I'm on the road. The first thing I do when I walk in the door is I go into the scale. I see the number on the scale. If it's gone up, I fix what I did that week to change for the following week.
How have your children been affected by your journey, and like how has the family life been now?
Well, I'll tell you, last week I took my daughter with me. So I go from Texas to Cranston, Rhode Island every week.
Oh, wow.
And we stopped, I had to take a break. And Quay's like, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going out, I'm doing my workout. Well, can I come? I'm like, yeah, sure. And we get out, she's like, Dad, what are you doing? Dad, I start running around my truck.
Okay.
For a half hour, because I had to take a half hour break. So for a half hour, I run around my truck. And when we got all done, she gets in, she goes, oh my God, that was awesome.
That is so cute.
I'm like, what? She goes, that was awesome. And at that point, I realized something back in the show. One of the things she wanted to do was to run with her father. And I was just like, wow, I just did it.
That is so sweet.
And it's taken me that long to do it, but it's well worth it.
So what is one thing that you hope readers can take away from your story?
More or less, I just hope it opens their eyes. You know, I hope whether they're obese, whether, you know, you could even take this from a food addict and whatever your problems are in life and add that to the food. You know, whatever your problems are, I just hope it opens their eyes and they just sit back and say, wait a minute, what am I doing? You know, this ain't worth it. I've been given the life. You're not here for a very long time. I want to make the best of it. I don't want to throw it away.
That's a really good message. Viewers can pick up this book right now. It's out now via Amazon. Thank you so much for coming, and I wish you the best of luck on the rest of your journey.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.